Alright, so here's what you need to assemble and start the Sahara 40, plus some safety materials for training before you ride. First, cut the cable tie on the outer box. Slice through the tape sealing the outer box. Take out the toolkit from the handlebar area. Remove the Sahara 40 mini quad. Detach the rear handlebar on the right front suspension and the front protector on the left front suspension. Check the package for all parts, manuals, and tools to make sure nothing's missing. Front protector. The tools you will need for front protector assembly are number 10 wrench and number 13 wrench. Use a wrench to remove the bolts and nuts from the front protector. Use a wrench to remove the bolts connecting the front protector to the frame. Attach the lower part of the front protector to the connecting rod on the frame and insert the bolts. Connect the upper mounting holes of the front protector to the frame and insert the bolts and nuts. Tighten the bolts and nuts. Rear handle. The tools you will need for rear handle assembly are number 10 wrench and number 13 wrench. Use a wrench to remove the 4 bolts and 4 nuts from the rear handle. Align the mounting holes of the rear handle with the 4 mounting holes at the rear of the frame. Tighten the 4 bolts and nuts. Right front tire. To assemble the front tire, you'll need a number 13 wrench, 17 wrench, and a number 6 Allen wrench. First, cut the cable tie binding the steering rod to the frame. Remove the bolts and nuts from the steering tie rod. Remove the bolts and nuts from the wheel linkage rod. Attach the claw steering knuckle on the wheel to the frame, insert the bolts and nuts, and tighten them. Align the steering tie rod with the mounting holes next to the claw steering knuckle. Place the metal washer underneath the bolt. Insert the bolt and nut and tighten them with a wrench. Left front tire. Cut the cable tie that's holding the steering rod to the frame. Remove the bolts and nuts from the steering tie rod. Do the same for the wheel linkage rod. Attach the claw steering knuckle on the wheel to the frame, then insert and tighten the bolts and nuts. Align the steering tie rod with the mounting holes next to the claw steering knuckle. Place the metal washer under the bolt and tighten everything up with a wrench. Right rear tire. The tools you will need for rear tire assembly are number 24 wrench. Cut the foam and tape on the rear axle. Position the metal block on the rear axle at the appropriate position. Remove the nut from the rear axle. Place the tire onto the rear axle with the valve core facing outward. Tighten the nut. Left rear tire. Cut the foam and tape on the rear axle. Position the metal block on the rear axle at the appropriate position. Remove the nut from the rear axle. Place the tire onto the axle with the valve core facing outward and tighten the nut securely. Handlebar. You'll need a number 10 wrench, your 17 wrench, and a number 5 Allen wrench for the handlebar assembly. Use the nuts from the toolkit and screw them onto the bolts on the handlebars. Tighten the nuts. Number plate. For the number plate assembly, you'll need a number 10 wrench and a number 5 Allen wrench. Align the number plate with the mounting holes on the handlebars. Insert the bolts and nuts and tighten them up. Plastic protective cover. Place the plastic protective cover in the middle of the handlebar. Organize the throttle and brake cables underneath the cover and connect them to the handlebar. Heat protector. For the heat protector assembly, you'll need enough 4 Allen wrench. Remove the bolt from the top of the pull start. Align the heat protector's mounting holes with those on the pull start. Insert the bolts and tighten them. Stickers. After assembling the Sahara 40, the final step is to pick your favorite sticker pattern from the options provided. Then, carefully apply the stickers to their designated spots on your mini quad. Enjoy customizing your ride.